Anxiety is a word that often carries a heavy weight, conjuring images of stress, fear, and overwhelm. But what if I told you that anxiety, when understood and harnessed, can be a powerful driving force in your life? What if this seemingly negative emotion is actually a signpost pointing you toward your highest potential? To unlock the potential of anxiety, we first need to understand its nature. Anxiety, at its core, is a signal from your mind and body. It's your inner alarm system, alerting you to potential threats or challenges. But here's the key: it's not just about survival. Anxiety also arises when you're standing on the edge of something important, something that has the potential to change your life. This emotional state is a complex interplay between your nervous system and your thoughts, a heightened awareness that something significant is at stake. Anxiety often comes in moments of uncertainty, when the future is unclear, and the outcomes are unknown. It's during these times that anxiety can be the most intense. However, this intensity is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's a sign that you are deeply invested in the situation, that what you are facing matters to you on a fundamental level. Anxiety is your mind's way of telling you that you're stepping into the unknown, that you're pushing beyond your comfort zone. And it's precisely this push that can lead to greatness. Let's delve deeper into this concept. Anxiety can be seen as a heightened state of alertness, where your senses are sharpened, and your focus is intensified. This state is a double-edged sword. On one side, it can lead to overwhelm if not managed properly, but on the other side, it can become the very energy that drives you to prepare more thoroughly, to think more creatively, and to act with greater precision. Anxiety is your body's way of gearing up for a challenge, much like how an athlete's adrenaline kicks in before a big game. It's a natural response that, when understood and embraced, can help you rise to the occasion rather than shy away from it. Think about those pivotal moments in life: your first day at a new job, delivering an important presentation, or making a major life decision. These are times when anxiety often makes its presence felt most strongly. But rather than seeing this anxiety as something to eliminate, what if we viewed it as a signal that you are on the cusp of something significant? This reframing is crucial. It shifts anxiety from being a hindrance to being a motivator, an indicator that you are stepping into a new phase of growth. Anxiety, when embraced and transformed, becomes a powerful catalyst for personal growth and achievement. Throughout history, many great leaders, artists, and innovators have spoken about their struggles with anxiety. What sets them apart is not the absence of anxiety, but their ability to harness it as a source of strength. This is where we see the transformative power of anxiety. It's the force that can take you from a state of doubt to one of determination, from fear to action, and from uncertainty to achievement. One way to understand this is by looking at the concept of productive anxiety. This is the type of anxiety that pushes you to prepare, to improve, and to strive for excellence. It's the anxiety that makes you rehearse your speech until it's perfect, that drives you to double-check your work, or that keeps you awake at night planning for a big project. This form of anxiety is not about being consumed by fear. It's about being driven by a deep desire to succeed. It's about recognizing that the stakes are high, and that your anxiety is urging you to rise to the occasion. Productive anxiety sharpens your focus. It makes you more attentive to details, more aware of potential pitfalls, and more committed to doing your best. It's the feeling that compels you to go the extra mile, to put in the additional hours, and to push through obstacles. When you learn to work with this anxiety, it becomes a powerful tool for achieving greatness. Consider how anxiety can lead to innovation and creativity. When you're anxious, your mind is in a heightened state of alertness, constantly scanning for solutions to potential problems. This can lead to creative breakthroughs, as your brain works overtime to find answers. Many of the world's greatest inventions and artistic masterpieces were born out of periods of intense anxiety and pressure. The anxiety these creators felt pushed them to think outside the box, to challenge conventional wisdom, and to create something truly extraordinary. Furthermore, anxiety often forces us to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. It brings to the surface the doubts that we might otherwise ignore. But in doing so, it also presents us with an opportunity for profound personal growth. By facing these fears head-on, we can learn more about ourselves, our limitations, and our strengths. This self-awareness is a crucial element of greatness, as it allows us to move forward with greater confidence and purpose. Anxiety, in this way, becomes not just a challenge to overcome, but a teacher that guides us on our path to self-mastery. So, how do we harness the power of anxiety and turn it into a force for greatness? This is where practical strategies come into play. By understanding how to work with your anxiety, rather than against it, you can begin to channel it in ways that enhance your performance, boost your creativity, and drive you toward your goals. Reframe your mindset. The first step in harnessing anxiety is to change how you perceive it. Instead of seeing anxiety as something to be feared, start viewing it as a sign that you're on the brink of something important. Anxiety often signals that you're about to step into a situation that could lead to significant growth or achievement. By reframing anxiety as a natural response to stepping out of your comfort zone, you can begin to see it as a positive force. This shift in perspective is powerful. It allows you to embrace anxiety as part of the process, rather than something that derails you. Channel the energy. Anxiety brings with it a surge of energy. Rather than letting this energy turn into panic or overwhelm, direct it toward constructive actions. Use it to fuel your preparation, to focus your efforts, and to drive your determination. When you feel anxious, take it as a signal to get to work, whether that means practicing, planning, or problem solving. This approach turns anxiety into a proactive force, one that helps you stay on top of your game. The energy that anxiety generates can be incredibly productive when channeled correctly. Practice mindfulness. One of the most effective ways to manage anxiety is through mindfulness. By staying present in the moment and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment, you can prevent anxiety from spiraling out of control. Mindfulness allows you to acknowledge your anxiety without letting it dominate your mind, giving you the clarity to use it constructively. This practice helps you stay grounded, even in the midst of anxiety. When you're mindful, you can observe your anxiety as a passing experience, rather than something that defines you. This detachment gives you the power to choose how you respond, rather than being swept away by your anxious thoughts. Seek support. Remember that you don't have to face anxiety alone. Reach out to trusted friends, mentors, or professionals who can offer guidance and support. Sometimes, talking through your fears can help you gain perspective and reduce the intensity of your anxiety. Surrounding yourself with a supportive community can also provide encouragement and motivation to keep pushing forward. This strategy is particularly important because it reminds you that anxiety is a common human experience. You are not alone in feeling it, and by sharing your experiences, you can gain valuable insights and coping strategies from others who have walked a similar path. Throughout history, There are countless examples of individuals who have turned their anxiety into greatness. Consider figures like Winston Churchill, who battled anxiety and depression, but led his country through one of its darkest times. His anxiety did not weaken his resolve, instead, it made him acutely aware of the stakes involved, driving him to prepare meticulously and to lead with unparalleled determination. Or take artists like Vincent van Gogh, whose struggles with mental health fueled his incredible creativity and passion. Van Gogh's anxiety and emotional turmoil became the wellspring of his artistic expression, leading to some of the most iconic works of art in history. Athletes often experience pre-game jitters, a form of anxiety that arises before a big competition. This anxiety is a natural response to the high stakes of competition. However, many athletes use this anxiety to sharpen their focus, to heighten their awareness, and to drive their performance. By embracing their anxiety, they turn it into a source of energy that enhances their performance rather than detracts from it. Similarly, entrepreneurs and innovators often face anxiety when launching new ventures or introducing groundbreaking ideas. The fear of failure is real, and the pressure can be immense. But it is precisely this anxiety that drives them to think creatively, to anticipate challenges, and to persist despite setbacks. Their anxiety becomes a compass, guiding them through the uncertainties of the business world and helping them navigate the risks associated with innovation. These stories remind us that anxiety is not a weakness, it's a sign of our deep care and commitment to our goals. It's a reminder that we are human, with fears and doubts, but also with the incredible potential to overcome them. By embracing our anxiety and using it as a force for good, we too can achieve greatness in our own lives. The key is to recognize that anxiety is a natural part of the journey, and that by working with it, rather than against it, we can unlock our full potential. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on spirituality and self-development.